You understand English. When someone speaks, you know what they mean. When you watch a video, you follow the story. When you read, the message is clear. But then something strange happens. When you want to speak, your mind goes quiet, or messy, or suddenly full of words from your own language. You pause, you translate, you hesitate, and you think, why is this so hard if I already understand English? Think about this for a moment. You are not alone. And more importantly, nothing is wrong with you. Today, let's talk calmly about why understanding English is easy, but thinking in English feels difficult. Not with rules, not with grammar lessons, but through real life, simple moments, and a gentle change in the way you see language. Stay with me. Imagine this situation. You are watching a movie. The characters are talking fast, but you understand. You smile, you nod. You even predict what someone will say next. Then the movie ends. Your phone rings. A friend asks you a simple question in English. How was your day? And suddenly, your mind freezes. You know the words. You know the meaning. But the answer doesn't come out naturally. You think in your language first. Then you translate. Then you correct yourself. Then you worry. And the moment is gone. This can feel frustrating, sometimes embarrassing, sometimes confusing. You may think, maybe my English is not good enough. Maybe I need more vocabulary. Maybe I'm not talented. Pause here. Think about this. What if the problem is not your English level, but how your brain is using English? Let's make this very simple. Understanding English is receiving. Thinking in English is creating. Receiving is passive. Creating is active. When you listen or read, your brain relaxes. It waits. It recognizes patterns. It connects meaning. But when you speak or think, your brain must build something. It must choose words. It must decide order. It must express emotion. And here is the key idea. Here, your brain does not automatically think in a new language, even if you understand it. Think about how children learn. A child hears thousands of hours of language before they speak clearly. No translation, no pressure, just exposure and time. As an adult, you already think deeply, but in your own language, your brain is comfortable there, fast, efficient. So when English enters, your brain treats it like a guest, not like home. And guests don't control your thoughts. Not yet. Let's talk about translation. Many learners say, I translate in my head, and it slows me down. Yes, but translation is not a mistake. It is a bridge. When you first learn English, translation helps you survive. It helps you understand. It gives safety. The problem is not translation. The problem is living on the bridge forever. Imagine crossing a river every day. At first you need the bridge. But one day, you want to live on the other side. If you keep standing in the middle, life feels stuck. Your brain does the same thing. It hears English, runs back to your language, then comes forward again. This back and forth creates delay. And delay creates stress. Stress blocks thinking. Think about this. Have you noticed that when you are calm, your English feels better? But when you are nervous, everything disappears? That's not language. That's emotion. Here is a quiet truth many people miss. You don't think in English because you don't live in English moments. Not grammar moments, not textbook moments. Real moments. Let's look at your day. You wake up. You think in your language. You plan your day. You remember things. You feel emotions. All in your language. English appears only when you study it. Your brain learns this message. My language equals thinking. English equals subject. So your brain respects that rule. To think in English, English must enter small, ordinary thoughts. Not big speeches, not perfect sentences. Simple thoughts like, I'm tired. I need water. This is interesting. I don't like this. These are not sentences you practice. These are thoughts you live. Let me tell you a short, simple story. There was a learner who listened to English every day. Podcasts, videos, stories. But speaking felt impossible. One day, they tried something different. They stopped trying to speak well. Instead, they started thinking in English. Badly. When they woke up, they said in their mind, "Today is busy." Not perfect. Just real. When they felt hungry, "I want food." When something was annoying, "This is too much." No grammar checking. No correction. At first, it felt strange. Uncomfortable. Slow. But after some time, their brain stopped asking permission. English thoughts appeared quietly. Naturally, not because they studied harder, but because English entered life. Here is something powerful, but often ignored. Silence. Many learners fill every gap with noise. Music, social media, videos in their own language. There is no space for English to appear. Thinking needs silence, even short moments. When you walk, when you wait, when you sit quietly, if your brain never rests, it never experiments. Think about this. When was the last time you allowed your mind to wander in English without pressure? Not to perform, not to impress, just to exist. Many people say, "I will think in English when I feel confident." But confidence does not come first. Permission does. You must give yourself permission to think slowly, think incorrectly, think simply. Your brain learns through freedom, not fear. Fear makes you translate. Freedom lets you flow. Pause here. Ask yourself quietly, do I allow myself to be bad at English in my own mind? If the answer is no, that is where the block begins. Let's change one idea. Stop asking, "How can I think in English?" Start asking, "How can English think with me?" Language is not something you control. It is something you invite. You invite it through listening, through patience, through daily presence. You already understand English. That means your brain is ready. It just needs time and kindness. In the next part, we will talk about how listening changes thinking, why forcing speaking can delay fluency, how to create English thoughts without effort, and how to make English feel natural, not stressful. This journey is quieter than you expect, and that's why it works. Many learners believe something very common. If I speak more, I will think in English. Sometimes this works, but often it creates pressure. Let's slow down and look at this carefully. Speaking is public. Thinking is private. When you speak, you worry about mistakes, accent, speed, judgment. But when you think, no one is listening. That is why thinking is the safest place to grow a language. Children think before they speak clearly. They understand feelings, ideas, and intentions first. Language follows. So if speaking feels heavy, don't fight it. Build the thinking first. You are doing listening practice right now, and this is important. Because listening does something special. When you listen deeply, your brain learns rhythm, intonation, common patterns, natural pauses. Your brain starts predicting, and prediction is thinking. Have you noticed this? When you listen to enough English, you sometimes know what will come next. That moment, that quiet, "I know" feeling, is your brain thinking in English. Even if you don't speak, this is progress. Real progress. Some learners push themselves too hard. They speak before their brain is ready. They correct every word. They stop mid-sentence. This creates tension. And tension tells your brain, English is dangerous. Your brain responds by protecting you with silence. Instead of forcing output, allow output. Let words come when they are ready, just like thoughts. Here is a simple change that helps many learners. Instead of full sentences, Think in images plus words. For example, you see rain. Think rain, cold, slow day. You feel tired. Think heavy, need rest. This is how thinking begins, not with perfect grammar, with meaning. Your brain already understands meaning. Now English joins that process. Why stories work so well for English learning? Because stories repeat life. The same emotions, the same situations, the same problems. When you hear similar stories again and again, your brain stops translating. It remembers. That's why calm, story-based listening is powerful. You are not memorizing words. You are building experience. Experience creates thinking. There is a quiet moment many learners remember. One day, without trying, an English thought appears, not planned, not forced. Maybe just a sentence, maybe just a feeling. This is nice. I don't want this. I need a break. And you realize later, oh, that was in English. That is not luck. That is accumulation. Small listening moments. Small thoughts, small patience. All working together. This will happen, often. And that's okay. Do not fight it. When your mind returns to your language, gently ask, how would this sound in English? No pressure to answer quickly. Even one word is enough. The goal is not control. The goal is awareness. Awareness changes habits. Let's say this clearly. English is not a test, not a stage, not a competition. It is a tool for thought. When you remove performance, thinking becomes easier. Speak less, but think more. Correct less, but listen more. Your brain will connect the rest. Here is a simple daily habit. No notebook, no app, no rules. Once a day, choose a moment. Walking, sitting, waiting, and ask yourself in English, what is happening right now? Answer simply, this is quiet. I feel tired. I am waiting. That's all. This is not practice. This is presence. And presence creates thinking. This method feels slow because it is gentle, but it is fast because it is natural. You are not building a system. You are building a relationship. With time, English stops feeling foreign. It feels familiar, comfortable, available, not always perfect, but alive. You already understand English. That means your journey is not beginning. It is unfolding. Thinking in English is not something you force. It is something that grows when you give it space. Be patient with your mind. Be kind to your process. Let English walk with you. Slowly, quietly, honestly. Listen again. Notice more. Think less about perfection. And one day you will realize English is no longer something you study. It is something you think with.